Nature never repeats itself. In its arsenal, there are creatures that defy the laws of physics, deceive the eye, and seem like survivors from prehistoric eras. We have gathered 25 birds whose appearance and habits will make you doubt reality itself. From the living black holes of New Guinea to feathered assassins whose gaze pierces right through you. This is a grand parade of the most extraordinary creations on the planet. In the dense forests of New Guinea lives a master of optical illusions. At first glance, it is a small black bird. But when it's time to dance, something incredible happens. It spreads its wings, transforming into an absolute black disk that absorbs 99% of light. Against this void, two brilliant turquoise eyes and a matching glowing smile flash into existence. The bird moves rhythmically, creating the sensation of a psychedelic animation, frozen in the middle of the jungle. It is the living embodiment of absolute darkness and neon light. The preparation begins long before the lady arrives. The male chooses an ideal patch of ground and turns into a fanatical cleaner. He meticulously clears his dance floor, removing every fallen twig and dry leaf until the ground is perfectly smooth. Once the stage is set, he freezes in anticipation. As soon as a female lands on a nearby branch, the magic begins. The male spreads his wings, transforming into an absolute black disk that absorbs 99% of incident light. Against this void, two brilliant turquoise eyes and a matching glowing smile flash into existence. He begins to dance rhythmically around her, emitting sharp, snapping sounds, creating the sensation of a psychedelic animation frozen in the middle of the jungle. To earn her approval, his movements must be perfectly synchronized, and the black hole of his plumage must be flawless. Only when the female is completely hypnotized by this neon show in the dark will she allow him to approach. It is the living embodiment of absolute darkness, born for a single moment of love. If dinosaurs had a direct heir that looked as intimidating as possible, it would be the shoebill. Standing nearly 5 feet tall with a massive bill resembling a wooden clog, it stands motionless for hours in the swamps of Africa. Its gaze is fixed and terrifying. But when it begins to make sound, a chill runs down your spine. Its song resembles a machine gun burst. The shoebill hunts lungfish and even baby crocodiles, swallowing them whole. In its silhouette, one feels an ancient, primal power. By day, it is nothing more than a dry stump. The potu is the world's greatest camoufleur, with feathers that mimic bark so perfectly it is invisible even at arm's length. Its secret lies in eyelids with tiny slits, allowing it to monitor the world while its eyes are tightly shut. It literally sleeps without losing vigilance. At night, its mouth transforms into a cavernous trap, stretching nearly to its ears, designed to swallow giant beetles and bats mid-flight. Its mournful, almost human-like cry in the Amazon is called Aye Mama, the spirit of a lost child calling for its mother. The only bird on the planet with a beak longer than its body. Because of this weight, the swordbill must sit with its head tilted sharply upward just to maintain balance. It cannot preen its feathers with its beak, so it uses its feet in a blur of hyper-fast movements. Its tongue is twice as long as its bill and acts as a high-speed pump, licking nectar 15 times per second. To survive freezing mountain nights, this tiny knight enters torpor, a state of suspended animation where its metabolism nearly stops to save energy until dawn. The Lord of the highest peaks. With a 10-foot wingspan, this giant can soar 100 miles without a single flap. Condors practice urohydrosis. They excrete on their own legs, so the evaporating liquid cools their body in the heat, while the uric acid kills bacteria gathered from carcasses. Lacking a syrinx, they are entirely mute, communicating only through sinister hisses. These majestic birds can live up to 70 years, serving as living witnesses to the changing eras in the Andes, while the color of their bare heads shifts from pink to yellow depending on their emotions. Those bright blue feet are a biological passport. The pigment comes from carotenoids in fresh fish. If a male is a poor hunter, his feet fade, ruining his chances of a date. Boobies have no nostrils. They evolved shut, so water doesn't blast into their lungs when they dive at 60 miles per hour, 95 kilometers per hour. Instead, they breathe through the corners of their mouths. Their families often practice facultative canism. If food is scarce, the older chick will push the younger one out of the nest, and the parents will not intervene, ensuring the strongest survives. A masterpiece of engineering, its beak takes up a third of its body but remains light thanks to a honeycombed bony structure. It is more than a tool, it is a smart air conditioner. The beak is laced with blood vessels, allowing the bird to dump excess heat instantly, changing its surface temperature by 10 degrees. At night, the toucan folds its tail like a fan over its back and tucks its bill underneath, turning into a compact, feathered cocoon to keep its precious heat inside. The ultimate imitator of the natural world, with a tail resembling an ancient lyre. It possesses the most complex vocal muscles of any songbird, allowing it to archive any sound, from a crying baby to a chainsaw or a camera shutter. In captivity, lyrebirds perfectly mimic a keeper's cough or the static of a radio. For his performance, the male becomes a master of acoustics and choreography. He builds several special earthen mounds, private stages scattered throughout the forest, meticulously clearing them of debris to ensure the best resonance. When a female approaches, the ritual begins. He steps onto his mound, throws his magnificent tail forward over his head like a shimmering silver veil, and disappears beneath a canopy of feathers. As he begins his concert, he doesn't just sing, he performs a rhythmic sidestep dance, pulsing his tail in sync with the sounds he mimics. To prove his worth, he must create a seamless soundscape of the forest, convincing the female that he is the most experienced and observant resident of the bush. If his medley of natural and mechanical sounds is complex enough, and his rhythmic pulsing is perfectly timed, the female will descend to the mound, acknowledging him as the supreme artist of the Australian wilderness. The sacred symbol of the Maya and Aztecs, a bird that legends say dies in captivity from a broken heart. Its skin is paper thin, and its feathers fall out at the slightest touch, a defense mechanism that leaves a predator with a mouthful of feathers while the quetzal escapes. It feeds on wild avocados, swallowing them whole and regurgitating the pits, making it the primary gardener of the cloud forests. In Guatemala, its name is given to the national currency, and it graces the country's coat of arms and flag. The fastest living creature on Earth, reaching speeds exceeding 320 kilometers per hour in a vertical dive. To prevent its lungs from exploding under the sheer force of air pressure, the falcon's nostrils are equipped with specialized bony baffles that deflect the incoming flow. Its entire anatomy is a biological weapon, precision engineered for high-altitude interception. When hunting pigeons, the peregrine demonstrates the absolute mastery of the stoop. It climbs to immense heights, positioning itself directly in front of the sun to remain a ghost to its prey's upward-facing eyes. Once the target is locked, it tucks its wings tightly against its body, transforming into a streamlined kinetic missile. The strike itself is an explosion of violent energy. As it reaches the pigeon, the falcon clenches its talons into fists, using the staggering momentum of the fall to deliver a crushing blow. The impact is so powerful, it can snap a wing or decapitate a pigeon instantly mid-air before the bird even senses danger. If the initial blow isn't fatal, the falcon executes a surgical loop and returns to use its tomial tooth, a specialized notch on its beak, to instantly sever the prey's spinal cord. During courtship, these lethal skills are repurposed into a breathtaking display of trust as partners pass prey from claw to claw while tumbling through the clouds in a free-falling aerial ballet. The pirate of the ocean, capable of sleeping in the air for 10-second phases, totaling just 40 minutes of sleep a day. Frigates possess the largest wingspan relative to their body weight of any bird, allowing them to soar for weeks. However, they are biological paradoxes. Their feathers lack the waterproof oil found in other seabirds. If a frigate touches the water, it becomes waterlogged and drowns. This vulnerability has forced them into a life of kleptoparasitism, becoming master thieves that harass other birds in midair until they regurgitate their catch, which the frigate catches before it hits the waves. Their courtship is one of the most bizarre and visually stunning spectacles in the natural world. During the breeding season, males gather in large bachelor groups on the mangroves, and their transformation begins. Each male possesses a gular sac, a giant, leathery throat pouch. Over the course of 20 minutes, they pump air into these sacs until they inflate into enormous, heart-shaped, brilliant red balloons that can take up nearly half their body size. When a female flies overhead, the colony erupts into a frenzied drumming performance. The males tilt their heads back, vibrate their wings to show off their iridescent green sheen, and use their massive beaks to drum against the inflated red pouches, creating a hollow, rhythmic thrumming sound. They swivel their heads from side to side, showing off the size and tautness of their balloons. For the female, the choice is simple. She is looking for the male with the largest, brightest, and most perfectly inflated heart, as it serves as a direct indicator of his stamina and immune system. This parade of red hearts is a high-stakes beauty pageant where the most inflated ego literally wins the prize. This Australian songbird is a specialist in the art of seduction, and his latest target isn't food, it's blue plastic straws. The satin bowerbird lives for one purpose: to lure females to his bower, a meticulously constructed avenue of sticks designed solely for mating. However, a bare-bones bachelor pad simply won't do. No self-respecting female will set foot in a nest that lacks style. To win her over, he becomes an obsessive interior decorator, knowing that for these ladies, blue is the ultimate aphrodisiac. He scours the landscape, even raiding human picnics to find the perfect blue trinkets to scatter at his entrance. When a potential mate arrives unimpressed, he has to up the ante, showing off his most expensive and rarest finds. Once she finally steps inside his love nest, the true performance begins, an elaborate, rhythmic mating dance. For this female, the flash of a blue ring seals the deal. But the romance is fleeting. As soon as she departs, the bowerbird immediately gets back to work, rearranging his blue treasures to entice the next girl who wanders by. An orange explosion in the jungle gloom. Its fan-shaped crest completely hides its beak, making its head look like a neon crescent. Males hold collective leks, clearing ground patches and sitting motionless for hours like neon statues. When a female appears, the silence erupts into jumps and cries. While males compete in brightness, females build nests alone, using mud and saliva on sheer cliffs where the male's orange plumage would be a death sentence from a jaguar. A textile architect creating a soft mitten from plant down and animal wool that can withstand storm winds. The nest features a false entrance to deceive snakes, while the real chamber is hidden behind a secret flap. Their love lives are a series of desertions. Either the male or the female, and sometimes both, will abandon a clutch of eggs to start a second family with a new partner in the same season. It is a cynical lottery. Someone must stay, or the generation is lost. The King of Storms with an 11-foot wingspan. It possesses a shoulder lock that fixes its wings without muscle strain, allowing it to sleep while gliding. Albatrosses drink seawater, excreting excess salt through glands in their nostrils, making it look like they have a permanent, runny nose. They have an acute sense of smell, detecting fish 12 miles away, and they form pair bonds for decades, recognizing their partner through complex ritual dances after years apart at sea. The most touching aspect of their lives is their devotion. They form pair bonds that last for decades, often for life. When they return to their nesting grounds after years of solitary wandering, they recognize their partner instantly. Their reunion is celebrated with an incredibly complex sky-pointing dance, a ritual of rhythmic bill clapping, wing spreading, and synchronized calling that reaffirms their bond. Even in the vast, lonely reaches of the sea, they always find their way back to the one they love. The mandarin duck is the world's most colorful waterfowl, a living kaleidoscope of orange sails, purple breasts, and emerald crests. But beneath this vibrant exterior lies a reproductive arms race unique in the avian world. The male possesses a 10-inch corkscrew-shaped organ, while the female's reproductive tract is coiled in the exact opposite direction, complete with various dead-end pockets. This complex biological labyrinth acts as a natural safeguard, ensuring that fertilization can only occur with the female's full physical cooperation, giving her the ultimate power of choice. Their lifestyle is equally extraordinary. Unlike most ducks, mandarins are tree dwellers, often nesting in hollows up to 30 feet, 9 meters, above the forest floor. When the ducklings are just a day old, they face a terrifying rite of passage. Encouraged by their mother's calls from the ground, the tiny, flightless fluffballs must leap from the high tree cavity. Being so light and downy, they bounce off the forest floor like tennis balls, unharmed and ready to follow their mother to the nearest water. Once the breeding season ends, the male undergoes a dramatic transformation known as eclipse plumage. He sheds his flamboyant feathers, losing his ability to fly for several weeks. During this vulnerable time, he turns a dull, inconspicuous gray to blend into the shadows and survive predators. In East Asian culture, these ducks are celebrated as symbols of lifelong fidelity. Yet, in reality, they often find new partners each year, a beautiful paradox of nature's design. A bird that has nearly abandoned the earth. Swifts eat, drink, collect nesting material, and even mate in the air. All 4 toes on their feet point forward, sharp hooks for hanging vertically on walls. A swift can stay airborne for 10 months straight. If a young swift falls to the ground, it cannot take off because its wings are too long and legs too short. The sky is its only element, where it reaches speeds of 70 miles per hour. A white ghost of the Arctic, the snowy owl, is one of the few owl species capable of hunting in broad daylight, a necessary adaptation for the endless sun of the polar summer. Its plumage is the densest of any owl, providing vital insulation against temperatures as low as -50 degrees Celsius, while thick, fur-like feathers on its feet act as natural snowshoes, allowing it to move across deep drifts without sinking. When it comes to survival, the snowy owl is a master of biological math. Their lives revolve almost entirely around lemmings. A single owl can devour over 1,600 of these rodents in a year. They manage their brood size with startling precision. In years when lemmings are scarce, the owls may refuse to lay eggs at all to save their own strength. However, in boom years when food is plentiful, they can raise up to a dozen chicks at once. Despite their serene appearance, they are fierce warriors. To protect their nests, which are mere hollows on the open tundra, they will fearlessly dive-bomb predators many times their size, including wolves and even polar bears, striking them with razor-sharp talons. Interestingly, unlike most owls that fly silently to ambush prey, the snowy owl is built for power. You can often hear the whoosh of its wings as it patrols the frozen wilderness. After the breeding season, young owls often migrate thousands of miles south in a phenomenon called an eruption, appearing in unexpected places like beaches or airports, looking for a landscape that mimics the flat, treeless expanse of their Arctic home. A survivor in the toxic environments of alkaline lakes. To feed their chicks, parents produce a bright red crop milk. It is so rich in pigment that by the end of the breeding season, the adults turn pale, literally giving all their color to their children. Flamingos are born with straight beaks. The iconic curved filter only forms weeks later. Standing on one leg is a way to conserve energy, keeping the other leg warm within their feathers. A tiny genius with an ironclad memory and the chief architect of the taiga. In one season, a bird makes up to 20,000 caches of nuts and finds them 9 months later under the snow. Its hippocampus, the part of the brain responsible for memory, is disproportionately large. The nutcracker even remembers the quality of a cache. It will visit a nut in a damp spot before it can rot. Those it forgets sprout, giving life to new cedar forests for hundreds of miles. The punk rock sailor of northern seas, whose golden whiskers and bright bill glow in ultraviolet light as beacons for its peers. Puffins are expert miners, digging burrows 6 feet deep into cliffside soil. In flight, they seem clumsy, flapping 400 times a minute, but underwater they transform into agile torpedoes. A puffin can carry up to 20 small fish at once, pinning them to the roof of its mouth with its tongue and specialized spines. The masterpiece of sexual selection, where beauty is more important than survival. Its massive train hinders flight, but for a female, it is a guarantee of strength. If he survived with such a burden, his genes are perfect. The blue color is an optical trap created by a microscopic structure that refracts light. When he shakes his train, he emits infrasound below 20 hertz, which humans can't hear, but females feel through sensors on their heads. It is literally a tail whisper. In contrast to the peacock's iridescent display, the greater flamingo presents a more delicate palette. While we often think of them as pink, they are actually born with white or gray feathers. They only achieve their iconic rosy hue by consuming brine shrimp and blue-green algae rich in carotenoid pigments. Without this specific diet, these elegant filter feeders would remain a ghostly, snowy white, blending into the salt flats they call home. A forest beauty unlike any other, the wood duck is a masterpiece of specialized evolution. While most ducks belong to the open water, this species is a master of the canopy. To navigate the dense, tangled branches of flooded forests at speeds of 50 kilometers per hour, they have evolved the largest eyes relative to their body size of any duck, giving them the peripheral vision of a fighter pilot. Their social and reproductive lives are a complex battle of the corkscrews. Much like their mandarin cousins, males possess a spiral-shaped organ, while females have evolved a counter-spiraling reproductive tract filled with dead-end diversion pockets. This biological labyrinth ensures that the female maintains the ultimate veto power, allowing fertilization only when she fully cooperates with a chosen mate. They are also unique in their productivity. The wood duck is the only duck species in North America capable of successfully raising 2 separate broods in a single breeding season. A desert sprinter that prefers a 20 miles per hour run to flight. To save water, it excretes excess salt through glands in its eyes, making it look like it's crying salt. It is a cold-blooded killer of rattlesnakes, which it bludgeons against rocks. To survive cold nights, it lowers its body temperature and recharges in the morning by exposing black patches of skin on its back to the sun, which act like solar panels. The bird that cheated gravity and social norms. With 4-inch long toes, it distributes its weight so well it walks on lily pads without sinking. In the Jacana world, matriarchy rules. The larger female owns the territory and multiple husbands. She only lays the eggs, leaving the males to incubate and raise the children alone. If danger nears, the father scoops the chicks under his wings and runs across the water, making it look like the bird has sprouted a dozen extra legs. "25 Destinies." 25 incredible strategies for survival. These birds prove that life can adapt to anything, creating forms more fantastic than fiction. Next time you look at the sky, remember, a story is being written above you, penned in feathers and wind. Magic exists, and it has wings.